do a quick video, real quick on this whole this Nolan Wells case. Slash, I seen something on social media about a guy that was making fun of his death. I'm gonna say this real quick. I feel like rest in peace to that young man. You know what I mean? You know, it's just an unfortunate tragedy. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna say this, especially as a black person. Period. End of the day, we don't really have any friends. I feel like with that whole case, there's something definitely fishy about it. I find it kind of odd that all of a sudden, his so-called friends lawyered up, and this is a cautionary tale on between friends, so-called friends, the people you think, that are close to you, whether your friends, associates. A lot of times they be the ones that could do you in the worst. One thing I don't understand also is that why did they let him go somewhere that he don't know? Because any real friend will make sure that they friends is good at wherever place that they're at. Now I heard it. I think they were taking like some kind of a trip, vacation or something. And that's one thing about a lot of these places. Wherever you go somewhere, it's always good to do research on places. That's just me personally, to know what type of place that you're stepping in, what kind of, I don't care if even it's a little island, vacation, things happen. And what makes it kind of odd is that what I'm hearing is that this place, it's obviously, it's basically, it seems like almost like I guess gotta be careful with it, like a lot of those type of places, it's like rural, especially down south. There's a lot of rural places, places where basically people, they could go ahead and they want to really get you up out of here. They can get you up out of here real quick. Nobody will know, no type of witnesses. So that's another thing people got to keep in mind too. I feel like, like I said from before, that the friends, me personally, is a good possibility they may have something to do with it. They may have something, know something about it. I just find it kind of odd that they lawyered up so fast. And, I don't know. It's just not, I don't know. It's just not looking very good. I also feel like, this is another question to tell, you got to watch your friends, so-called friends. Especially, and this is a special answer for us black folks, I know there's those black folks that have a lot of they have a whole bunch of white friends and stuff, friends that, that don't look like them, period, whether it be white, Spanish. Me personally, I gotta be around, more. I don't mind being around, people of other ethnicities, but I gotta have some chocolate around too, you know what I mean? That's just me. It's easier, I feel like, to deal with mainly when it's your own people compared to being around other, especially, unfortunately, a lot of whites, they take on the ideology, but this is nothing new because this whole ideology, this whole system has been in place for so many years. So this is nothing new. This is just exposing, I feel like with this news, the recent thing with Carmelo Anthony, Carmelo Anthony, yeah, the recent thing with Carmelo, um, as well as the Rick Chow situation. I feel like all these situations is pretty much it just goes to expose not just the justice system, how they pick and choose, and how they basically you know they basically hang who they want to hang, basically. And it also shows to me the like the race relations in the states period is terrible. You know what I mean? It just goes to show how easily people are triggered. It doesn't help that got everyday people, and gotta put some of the blame on the average everyday people, that they push these ideologies, this ideology that basically it has no real value, it has no real weight, it's nothing but full of hate, and it's everyday people, you know, including people who, you know, we could go as far as for the judicial system, from the judges, the cops, the whole nine, you know. A lot of them also have a part to play with this whole ideology, because let's be for real, America was always built on racism and, you know, unfortunately slavery and all this stuff, you know, and it's just a messed up situation. Hopefully this case with Nolan Wells, that it basically he gets some sort of justice, some sort of answer. The family, my condolences to the family, you know what I mean? It just goes to show. And as for the dude that I've seen on social media making fun of the death of Nolan Wells, I think he's a sorry excuse. Like a lot of people like him, especially black folks, black person, he should be ashamed of himself. Because just because you're around a whole bunch of people that don't look like you, and you're in a higher status, that doesn't mean that you can't get your wake-up call. As long as you're black in America, just the states, period, you're gonna always have your wake-up call. And that's just how it is, period. Because in this skin, most people will never understand what it is like to be in this skin. And that's just me personally. Me personally, working around people, majority didn't look like me. It could be a very unsettling, uncomfortable feeling with them, and you can feel the energy. A lot of them don't even like to be around us, and that's a sad, unfortunate reality we living in, especially in the States. Once people understand and wake up and see what's going on, you know, I feel like personally it's gonna take something super cataclysmic to happen to shake people's minds up some more and understand that this whole system in place is a bigger fight, and all a lot of us are doing is keeping the fight going. It's enough about the media and everything else perpetuating stuff, but that's a whole nother topic for another time. It's just an unfortunate situation, the whole thing. So we have to be mindful. But at the same time, as a black person myself, I would say it's also a cautionary tale. It's a very cautionary tale. And it just goes to show that, you know, at the end of the day, careful who your friends are. For the most part, always be careful. Be careful for all of that stuff, you know, who your friends are. Make sure that you're in places where it's some more, you know, diversity, particularly some chocolate. Cause me personally, I know I always feel good when I see some black folks around. You know what I mean? Now, granted, you know, I may not agree with everything. We might be on two different type of energy, you know. But that's a whole nother topic for another time when it comes down to, like, you know, energy and stuff. But two different mentalities, but at the same time, you know, it just still feels good, period, you know. I think right now we should all take the time, especially black people, to take the time to really start gripping up, really start being more aware of what's going on. All the all the bootlickers out there, you know, the people say Uncle Tom's out there. Just know that at some point you're gonna get your wake up call. But I don't care what status you're in life. I don't care how many people you may know. As long as you got this skin, it's always gonna be some sort of animosity. It's always gonna be some sort of hate. And as for that dude, once again, that made fun of Nolan Wells' death, he's a real live sucker for that. And I hope that the universe bless him tenfold for doing that. And I don't mean in a good way, because you don't wish stuff like, you don't laugh at stuff like that. And I think that's the problem with this era too, that, you know, we take everything for a joke, everything is funny, even some of us may be in a better status than others and be around different people, you know, better wake up. This is America. So when you got this skin, I don't care if you're rich, you're poor, you know, I don't care what the status is, you always gonna get some sort of heat, because, you know, the racism is so real in this time, in this day and age, but it's just all being more exposed, you know. So in a way, it's kind of good it's all being exposed, because it shows that, you know, that we got a long ways to go. And I don't know, I guess until people wake up and understand that it's all just a system in place, and, you know, we got to start calling out right is right, and that's just the bottom line. But let me know what y'all think about this whole thing with Nolan Wells. Y'all think that his friends had something to do with it? Do y'all think that at the end of the day, will there be any kind of justice served? Let me know what y'all think. Definitely hype up this video. Like, subscribe, share. 82 Brooklyn 7 on YouTube. 82 Brooklyn 7 on YouTube. At 82 Brooklyn 7 on YouTube. Like, subscribe, share. Please hype up the video. Share this. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know what your input. Definitely all comments is welcome. All haters get deleted and blocked. So if you're coming through with some hating comments, just know that the delete button is right there. And on that note, I'm Adi5. Peace.